up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to my channel, cousins. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, hello, welcome. It's here that we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of our favorite celebrities, world events, but most importantly, our damn selves. So hit that subscribe button to become part of the family. Thumbs up this video to grow the channel. And click that notification bell so that way you will be alerted whenever I make a new post. So today I want to talk about 5 times Janet Jackson told us that she was a Taurus. And I am aiming towards making this a series that I want to do moving forward. So y'all wish me luck, okay? Because just like a Sagittarius, I am good for starting a cute little series. And then like 2-3 videos in, I'm on to the next thing, all right? Because I am a different person. I am not who I was back then. I'm a new woman with new views on life. Don't judge me for my past. But I'm going to do my best to stay true to that and honor it. And a good way to let me know whether I should continue to do so is by engaging on the video. So thumbs upping the video, sharing the video, and just participating in some dialogue, if you will. Okay, it helps me in terms of knowing whether this is a series I should continue or not. So with that being said, there have been several instances over the course of Janet Jackson's career where she has proven and exuded a lot of Taurus-based traits. And although this list is in no particular order, number 1 would have to be releasing her debut single, The Pleasure Principle. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your mother because she knows what I'm talking about. The Pleasure Principle was the biggest song, or at least one of the biggest songs of the 1980s, bar none. And I thought it was particularly interesting considering the fact that Taurus is a self-indulgent sign. Tauruses are all about the pleasure principle. Taurus is the type of sign that does what brings them comfort and what brings them pleasure, pleasurable experiences, peaceful experiences. This is why Taurus does not like hectic, chaotic, stressful, or unpredictable people or environments. And the textbook definition for pleasure principle is the instinctive drive to seek pleasure and avoid pain, expressed by the idea as basic motivating force, which reduces psychic tension. So this absolutely can correspond with the nature of Taurus, naturally being predisposed towards things that are going to be of ease to them, things that are going to bring them lots of pleasure, things that are going to make life a lot easier for them, right? This is another reason Taurus can also carry the stereotype for being lazy at times, okay? Taurus does not like to be uncomfortable or in high amounts of stress, high amounts of pain. But also, as you listen to the lyrics, the song basically describes a woman who is not happy or who refuses to settle in a relationship built on loveless materialism. And Taurus does directly deal with value, materialism, money, quantity, quantifiable items, right? Assets, things that definitely can create a very materialistic, kind of even vain perspective. And although in the song, she's saying she doesn't want these things, in reality, I would beg to differ, honey. I would beg to differ. So this brings us to number 2. The second time Janet Jackson showed the world that she was a Taurus was when she gained excessive amounts of weight. And this was, I think, even before she had her son, or maybe even after she had her son. I distinctively remember several periods where she would gain lots of weight, and then you would see her a few months later, especially when it was time to tour, and she would have washboard shredded abs. But when you saw how she gained weight very much like a Taurus woman. These are women who can put on lots of weight. They can have a very stocky build. They can have just a really boxy kind of look, but they're still very supple and they tend to wear the weight very well. I don't think she looked bad. I personally don't. I don't think she just looked horrible and disgusting. But, the music business, Hollywood entertainment is very shallow. So I'm pretty sure for obvious reasons, she had to just go ahead and suck it up quite a few times in terms of just altering her physical appearance. But definitely, and a lot of times Tauruses have such strong affinities for food, which absolutely piggybacks off of the pleasure principle. Food is one of their many pleasures, and obviously, especially if these are not very active people or if they just go prolonged stretches of time not, practicing moderation, they can find themselves packing on the pounds. So I thought that was interesting. Now, the third time Janet Jackson told us that she was a Taurus was when she shot the video for Anytime, Any Place. Okay, Anytime, Any Place, the video was such a masterpiece because of how sensual it was. And everyone knows Tauruses to be sensual, which is not to be confused with sexual. You would actually attribute that more to its polarity sign of Scorpio, okay? Sex as a concept, sex in and of itself. Taurus is more so of the foreplay. It is more so of stimulating all five senses. It is more so enjoying the erotica of the moment, familiarizing yourself or being intimate with a partner in a way that doesn't necessarily happen when you're talking about literally the mechanics of in and out sex. And watching the video, and I think a lot of 90s videos did a really good job at portraying this, but Janet Jackson's video in particular did a really good job with capturing a couple or two neighbors, okay, because she was a neighbor across the hall peeking over to see if he was home, and he would be home, and she would walk in the door and they would just make love everywhere. But they showed you him feeding her peaches and him caressing the small of her back, honey, her kissing his neck, and it was just this beautiful, just sensual. It wasn't too much. It was still very classy and very Taurus fashion, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. 6-year-old me was like, yeah, and to this day, it's a jam. But that was very Taurus of Janet Jackson. Okay. The fourth time Janet Jackson told us that she was a Taurus was when she married that wealthy man. I think he was from Qatari. He was a Qatari businessman, Wissam Almana. I'm probably butchering his name. But Taurus women, because they like security, they tend to be drawn towards the protector / provider types. So if he is not outwardly super masculine, he could be a man who has a lot of money. Okay. Taurus women can be gold diggers, but of course they can also, depending on other factors in their chart, have the potential to be earners as well. However, you're not going to convince a Taurus woman to be with a man with no money. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay, and she definitely did that. She secured the bag. The man was worth a lot of money. Y'all feel free to let me know just how much in the comment section below. And then finally, the fifth time that Janet Jackson told us she was a Taurus was when she continued to date men within her line of work, which is also very Taurus because a lot of these people are spending time getting to the money. It is not uncommon for them to establish connections, relationships, and affairs on the job. For example, she spent quite some time working with Jermaine Dupri, and then that blossomed into a romance. They were dated from like 2002 to 2009, I want to say. And just other people in the past too, like other artists in the 80s and so on and so forth. That's very, 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 very Taurus. So this concludes my video on 5 times Janet Jackson told the world that she was a Taurus. Y'all drop down in the comment section if you can think of any more. And make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.